Welcome back to r/TalesFromAll, where we read stories from r/Tales from the front desk, Tales from your server, Tales from the customer, and Tales from tech support. If you are new to my channel and would like to join our awesome community, then I suggest to click subscribe because I upload daily content, and without any further ado, let's dive right into the stories. And the first one is titled, I am less likely to drown now in the event of a plane crash in the water thanks to an airline crew. I am totally blind. I was flying home today and not expecting anything out of the norm, listened to announcement at beginning, fall asleep, drool copiously just to annoy my neighbor. Well, color me surprised when one crew member offered me a Braille safety guide before he began announcements. I expressed my thanks and surprise, however it was not over yet. While he made the standard announcements, another crew member came over and offered to allow me to explore the life vest and oxygen mask, orientating me to all the important pieces. This is something that has never been offered to me before by any other airline or crew. I didn't even know they had Braille safety guides. Perhaps I should have asked in the past, but it was so refreshing to have this crew take initiative and make the effort to make sure that I was just as informed as the sighted passengers around me. Oftentimes we get so caught up in advocating for ourselves that it is nice to have others pick up on ways to help us feel included and safe. This was posted on another social media site, and the airline says they will pass this on to their team so this crew can be recognized. Oh guys, and I forgot to mention, this story was posted on r/Tales from the customer. By the way, I would love to know, do we have any blind ripe stars in the audience? A friend of mine is blind, and I am actually surprised how well he can navigate sites like YouTube. Voice recognition software, or whatever you call it, has really advanced in the last couple of years, if you ask me. The next one is an infuriating story from r/Tales from your server, and it is titled, The first table I have ever refused to continue to serve, and the first table we have ever kicked out of any of our restaurants in over 2 years. Oh man, this group. I have never turned to a manager before and said, I am done, I'm not going back over there. But I did last night. Yesterday was a particularly slow Monday. I did not have any tables till 5:30, this 2 tops sat in my section and wanted happy hour, high tops only of course, so I moved them to the right section. The hostesses were able to get me a new table immediately, and it was a group of 8. 6, hopefully drunk otherwise yikes, women. I am putting money on past sorority sisters, and 2 boys around 8 years old. I should have just gave the 2 happy hour and taken the wrath from management. The 8 top is immediately obnoxiously loud, and it pretty much is just seat number 3 causing it. Edit, seats 4 and 6 were pretty loud as well, but while they were just raising their voices, number 3 was actually yelling as if she had earplugs in. They also have a birthday at the table. Oh my god, girls, let's sing. Every time someone mentions the birthday, we have to sing, and they did. They sung, screamed happy birthday no less than 5 times, 1 for every round of drinks and shots, and by the time the appetizers came out, my manager had already walked up to them about a noise complaint from a table across the restaurant. Seat number 3, a grown adult goes to the bathroom but stops halfway and asks me,
Wait, do I need a mask?
Yes ma'am, you do when you are traveling around the restaurant.
Are you sure?
Yes ma'am.
Like really sure?
This conversation happened multiple times with seat number 3 and our other staff members. She would stop a staff member every time she ran to her car, went to the bathroom, checked out the restaurant, ran after a kid and asked,
Are you sure I gotta wear a mask?
And of course never wore it. My work does not allow staff to enforce mask policy, so I cannot do anything but answer her questions and maintain a 6 feet distance. The first round of drinks comes out, seat number 2 keeps drinking, seat number 1's cocktail even though she has her own margarita to work on. Gets a good bit of the way through her friend's drink, turns to her with a sour face and goes,
You like that?
Seat number 1 says,
I don't know.
She finally gets to try her half-gone cocktail. She says, yeah, she likes it. Number 2 goes,
Are you sure?
Seat number 1 says,
I don't know.
So seat number 2 sends back a cocktail that is not even hers and has me get seat number 1 a new drink. That new drink never got touched. I think she actually really liked the first one. And seat number 2 did not give a flying damn that seat number 4 had the same drink as seat number 1. She didn't send back that one. Just the one she got to have half off for free. Thankfully, this was the only issue I ever had with seat number 1 and 2, otherwise they were great. I shoved so many cherries in that kid's cup. He's sitting there chugging his daily requirement of sugar when he sort of sits up while still drinking and turns towards me. He pulls the straw from the cup with liquid still in the straw, and his mouth was so full his cheeks were bulging, turned towards me and spit his drink through the straw down my legs. I have never ever been spit on. What the actual? I let out a bewildered "Excuse me?" as my legs are dripping Shirley Temple and 8-year-old saliva during a global pandemic. The mom laughs, even praises him.
Good one, Dom.
I walk away, thankfully had everyone's orders when it happened, was getting menus, go and take Clorox wipes to my legs. I come back out, head to a different table, and seat number 3 is rushing me from across the restaurant, absolutely hauling ass without a mask on. Even though they just got a bunch of appetizers, I went ahead and put in their dinner orders while I was cleaning myself up, just trying to get them the F out. Seat number 3 is running after me across the restaurant. CCTV I watch later. She catches up to me and grabs my arm and turns me around. No mask. Proceeds to get in my face to the point our breasts are physically touching and goes,
"We have a birthday at the table. Do you guys do anything for that? Like sing maybe? Oh, or cake. Bring out a cake. Do you have a chocolate one and candles?"
The entire time she's going on about this request, I am backing up slowly. She's following me step for step. I have backed up so far that I have now backed up into another table that actually has people eating at it, and she is still tit to tit with me going on about cake and singing. I can smell the alcohol on her breath through my mask. She's so close and maskless. Finally get her happy with a slice of baked Alaska for the table for free, and she finally F's off. The table I backed into would not let me apologize for being on top of them practically, and actually turned out to be the table who complained about the noise in the beginning. They were 100% on my side after getting the full experience just now with guest number 3, and would continue to be on my side and explain to the managers what was going on. I hate that their meal got ruined by this one drunk table. They were really such nice ladies whose experience was ruined by this terrible group. So I bring out dessert, baked Alaska, set it on fire. Ooh ah. That dessert did not stand a chance, it was gone. I go back over to make sure no one wants another cocktail/box, and seat number 3 goes,
"Why did the hostess yell at us earlier?"
Me? Oh well, that was the manager. She was informing you that you have a noise complaint against your party. Number 3.
"Who complained? Tell me who complained. I will take care of it."
Me? Yeah, I cannot release that information. Number 3.
"You can't? Okay. Well, can you tell her to F off?"
Me? Yeah, that's my manager. I cannot do that either.
"Okay, well, you can just F off then."
Okay, walks the F away. I walked right up to my manager and asked her to cash them out and handle whatever they had left. I was done. We had 4 different managers in the building that day, and all 4 had been watching the table since the noise complaint before appetizers, so she did not ask any questions from me and just printed the check for them and walked over. And said, "Hey everyone, here's your check. It is time for you to head on out of here." Seat number 2, who is actually a really nice lady and doesn't deserve to be roped in with her crappy friends, but you should choose your friends better, starts apologizing for everyone's behavior. Manager just says, "It is time to go." Just keeps repeating it till number 2 paid for the entire check, $304+ after discounts, and they left. So I go with my buzzers and start buzzing this absolutely wrecked table. One of the buzzers reaches under the table and grabs this aqua blue pile of fabric. He has turned it his way, and that's how he was trying to figure out how you would wear that sort of face mask when he spots the skid marks. Yes, my table left their crappy panties under my table, and guess whose seat they were by? Lucky number 3. What the actual F, y'all? I just cannot believe that actually happened last night. And guys, I would just like to say a huge thank you to the author of this story for giving me the opportunity to make this epic thumbnail. But honestly guys, I would say working in the restaurant industry right now is definitely a dangerous job, because it seems that people obviously cannot wear face masks while eating, so it is quite dangerous if you ask me. That is, of course, if you live in a country that still has active infections. Luckily here in Thailand there haven't been any active community spread infections, as they call it, for over 70 days. And the next one is another XXL story, but this time from r/Tales from the Tech Support, and it is titled How to Go from FOM to Jail in 5 Hours. This tale is set in the time of the virus pandemic. The players are the following. Texan is me, NG new girl, BB front office manager in charge of the front desk, OS owner son, O owner, FD front desk staff, GM general manager, AGM assistant general manager, guest hotel guest. This day started like any other day. I awake and jump in the shower. I jump out and check my phone and notice that there are 45 emails from this morning alone from BB asking if I am awake and on the property to assist guests with their Wi-Fi connection issues and electronic doodads. I respond back to her latest email stating that per email I sent yesterday, I do not do guest IT support unless I have time, and sadly today I do not. So I go down from my hotel room to my office. Upon reaching there, I am greeted by a line of people who BB sent for me to provide support to, bypassing the signs that said employees only and access restricted. After helping the guests connect their craptops to the Wi-Fi network, I start on my project for the day, which was to do a network audit and find out exactly how janked up the network was from being hobbled together and held together by prayer and silly string with no IT staff for 20 years and every computer/user having local admin access. Get a knock on my door from a hotel guest. Texan, how may I help you? Guest,
BB said to come see you about getting my Fire Stick to connect to the hotel Wi-Fi.
Texan, oh, I'm sorry, BB was incorrect. While it is true that I help guests with Wi-Fi issues on days, I am not busy or slammed with work. Sadly, today I have too much to do today, but I can see what I can do to assist you. Is it giving you any sort of error? Guest,
no, BB told me to come here first before I tried to connect it to the network.
Texan, gosh darn it's BB. Guest, please try to connect, and if you have any trouble, feel free to go to the FD to ask for help. Texan types email reminds BB that I do not do guest IT support, as I am regional IT support for the 11 hotels that owner owns. BB responds to my email with the following: how dare I, she a FOM and I am a lowly regional IT tech. She will not direct the front desk staff to stop standing guest for any tech related issues to my office, as I don't have any authority over her, since you are a regional IT tech and I am a FOM of this property and I rank lower than her on the COC chain of command. Texan, I respond with the following email, per my last request dated yesterday date, requesting you to instruct the front desk staff to not send guests to my office for support with connecting their electronic devices to the Wi-Fi. And per your response from yesterday, that you refuse to comply as you are above me per your mail sent yesterday. Email attached. I have no choice but to escalate this, as the customers are breaching a secure area, which breaks a couple dozen different security regulations and business regulations. I am unable to ensure that appropriate measures are being taken for the security of the computer hardware, and such will be forced to, if measures are not taken, to resolve the security lapses, remove the ability to take credit card and other sensitive financial data due to lack of security, per brand name security regulations, which clearly state that PCI data and other sensitive data must be secure and all computer hardware must be locked down to prevent theft. Per your response of refusing to do so because I am just a
regional IT tech,
and per your email, I am below you. I am CCing your manager on this email, AGM and the GM, to inform them of this fact that if measures are not taken, I will be forced to remove the ability to process credit card payments per brand name regulations and other business regulations. Texan, I go out into my little lobby area to sign for the delivery of the new Wi-Fi AP and network hardware and see AGM and GM walking into BB office with murder in their eyes. BB starts sweating and yelling at AGM and GM about how she was not consulted on my hire and as a manager she should have been consulted. GM, Texan operates at a regional level, the owner hired him as a field IT tech. BB,
Texan should report to me since I am a FOM and I am management while he's just a tech.
AGM, BB Texan only reports to the owner or the owner's son, so no one else. He was doing you a courtesy by assisting the guest you sent to his office, even though he told you he was too busy today to assist guests as he's upgrading the computer and the network here. BB,
that does not seem fair. He's a regional tech, he should be below me and have to report to me, and he should do what I tell him to do, including assisting guests with their Wi-Fi issues.
AGM, he does not have to do that. He's above you in fact. I think if he wanted to, he could fire anyone here and I could not stop it. I think he's the equivalent of a regional director. BB,
Texan should not be allowed to say no to me and he should help every guest I send to his office and swipe in.
GM calls every front desk agent into BB office. NG prints out the email I sent and then BB email telling them to ignore me as I have no authority and I am below her in rank. BB,
NG, you're supposed to be on my side. Why would you print out the emails?
AGM reads the paper NG handed her and asks BB for her response. BB,
Texan is below me in authority. I'm not going to tell front desk staff to not send guests into an employee-only area for tech support. That is what Texan was hired for anyways.
I was not. GM, BB, since you cannot understand how serious this is, I'm going to demote you to Front Desk Agent 1 at Front Desk Agent 1 pay scale. $12 an hour demotion. Shortly thereafter, about an hour or so, I hear from the front desk BB complaining that Texan cost her job and does loyalty not matter anymore. She spent 10 years with the hotel as a FOM. Texan notices in the span of 10 minutes that there are 10 P1 tickets in the queue from BB saying she's unable to stream Netflix or Hulu on her phone. P1 tickets are all hand on deck major system outage and or check-in system offline not for trivial matters. All P1 tickets are sent to the anyone above an AGM at the property in question including the owner and his son and starts a 15-minute response window. BB starts yelling at NG for not defending her in there and placing the blame on her and saying that she is a bad employee for CYA in front of I would say about 10 guests. NG runs away crying to the ladies' room. Guest asks BB, may I please speak to the AGM or GM? BB,
what for?
Guest, your conduct and your pettiness and airing your dirty laundry in front of people checking in. BB, shocked Pikachu face, and summons the GM to the front counter. OS calls me and asks what these P1 tickets are about since there were 10 in a 10 minutes time. GM chews out BB for bad-mouthing me in front of guests. OS, I am coming to the hotel to straighten this out. Short while later OS arrives. OS goes into the former FOM office and calls the GM and BB into it. BB starts defending her actions and saying she was within her right as management and she deserves to be FOM. OS is not buying it. BB is now fighting with the GM and OS saying she should have been consulted on the hiring of an IT person since it is within range of her responsibility, which it is not. OS is saying that that is his dad's responsibility to hire for IT. BB is saying that that does not matter as a hotel management, she is above all regional staff. OS, that is bullcrap, she was only hired as a favor to the GM, and as part of hiring of the GM, he had to hire his wife. OS, per the contract you were only supposed to be kept, hired as long as you and your husband were married, and he worked for us, you had a job. OS, but thank you for letting us know that you guys are not married. OS, we can settle this. OS, one of two ways you are fired and I will pay the rest of your shift with your FOM pay. OS, or are you demoted to overnight FD and only if you apologize to Texan. OS, you have your choices, you have 30 seconds to make it. BB,
what do I have to do to get my FOM job back?
OS, you will never get FOM again, you abused regional staff and abused network access and privileged. You badmouthed regional staff in front of guests and caused us to have at least 10 complaints sent to Brand about us. OS, your 30 seconds are up. What do you choose? BB,
Are there any manager positions I can have?
OS, make your choice. BB,
I guess I will take night desk.
BB,
Can I get my old payback?
OS, okay, you are on probation, and if I hear you causing any trouble, I will personally fire you. If there's even a single complaint about you, I will fire you. Do you understand that? I will tell IT to reinstate your access, and NG is the new FOM. BB,
F that woman, I quit.
OS, well, thank you for serving the company for 10 years. We will mail you your final paycheck. You have 5 minutes to pack your desk and locker before security will escort you off the property. And then BB was escorted off the property and returned later and proceeded to destroy about $1,500 worth of computer equipment and may or may not have bit a cop. Texan, coming back from taking a lunch/dinner break and notices that there are 2 police cars parked at the front door. Texan wonders what happened and who called the police officers and grumbles that someone stole his parking spot. BB going savage on computer equipment and trying to break down the door of the IT closet. Texan, just my luck, I came back at the wrong time. I wonder if it is too late to slip out to my truck and escape. So BB gets arrested, surprise Pikachu, and fights with the arresting officers and may or may not have bit a cop while she was being dragged to the squad car. And the last one is from r/Tales from the Front Desk and it is titled, I do not have to accommodate your ignorance. I am so tired of anti-mask guests, I really might go mad. I've had people tell me it is against their religion, that they have a doctor's note, that they've been told by my boss that they don't have to. I've even been given one of those stupid little cards that grants an exception because of the Americans with Disabilities Act. One woman had the absolute nerve to put on a lace mask and then smirk at me like she had proved a point or something. Not 15 minutes ago, a guy had the nerve to deliberately cough before he put his mask on when I asked him to. I am losing it. I wanted to attend classes this fall, I wanted to celebrate Halloween, I wanted to travel abroad this winter, I wanted to attend my friend's baby shower in November, I wanted to have an easy time during the busy fall tourist season. Do you know why I can't? Because of morons like these continue to not wear masks. Because their right to be a dumbass is apparently more important than my right to be alive. I don't want to die just so I can pay my damn bills. I'm going to continue to be a mean, stubborn hardass about wearing masks. I will kill these people with politeness and painfully sweet passive-aggressive defiance of their attempted power plays. I don't care if we get walk-offs, crap reviews and a effing local news story, you will wear a mask in my lobby or I will cancel your reservation while you sit there staring at me. Find another room in this sold-out town. I dare you. And guys, unfortunately, we have already reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's stories, and if you haven't already, please also go to patreon.com/ripeyoutube, where I upload exclusive Reddit videos starting at just $3 a month. This is a great way to support me in case you are interested, and the chance for me to become independent from YouTube revenue. Thank you so much for watching, please don't forget to subscribe and like the video, and I hope to see you again tomorrow.